Hello. Hello.
Yani.
Oh, güzel yemek ikram var gördünüz mü? Karnım acıktı. Evet, kruvasanlara basmışsınız.
The gaffer.
Thank you very much. Can you open? Şunu açsana. İstiyor musun? Bravo. Ben de İngilizcemi çok iyi diyorsunuz. Ruhunu iyi satmışsın. Tamam. Ben de İngilizcem çok iyi.
Good shape.
Are we ready? Yeah. Welcome everybody. First of all, happy to be here. And we arranged this press conference to introduce our head coach, Sergej Jakirovic, and Jarred and I'm here for any questions. But of course, today's main man is Sergej, and we are open to your questions, and we can start.
Sergej, Acun, Jarred, good to see you. Sergej, Mike White from BBC Radio Humberside, good to meet you. First of all, how does it feel to be the new Hull City head coach?
I'm very happy to be here because this is a big challenge for me and my staff. We will do everything to be successful here. We are very grateful to the Mr. Chairman because of the trust, and we want all good and successful city.
I know it's early yet, but what are your initial thoughts of the club?
No, normally it's football. It's football. I saw so many games. We can improve in every moment of the play. So, I met today guys first session. So it's we will get to know each other, and we go day by day, training by training, and I believe that we can improve a lot in our play.
How was training today, and how nice was that? Is that the moment where you feel the most comfortable, the most relaxed once you get into that environment?
Yes, I'm very comfortable on the pitch. I cannot I cannot wait that we start first day because already 1 month I'm on vacation and it's in your blood, and I'm very, very looking forward to see better Hull than the last season.
For fans listening, how would you describe yourself as a manager or head coach, and how would you describe your style and brand of football?
My style, my football philosophy, it's adapt as soon as possible to the team, to develop them. I like attacking football style, but also we need such a type of profile of the players, and we train always how we want to play. This is for me main sentence, and like I said, during the trainings we will make a lot of through build up, through middle zone, to finishing zone, to create a lot of chances. We will see. I like high press also, energy, intensity, but we will see what will future bring.
You have the benefit of coming in during the summer. You'll know the players that are coming in, as well as getting used to the players that are already here. Will you expect them to adapt to how you want to play, or will you adapt to the strengths of the players?
It's 50-50. First of all, we will adapt to them, but also we expect some new players also, because we need that. Because last season we had Hull City had a very bad luck because of injuries. 3, I think, very good players got injury ACL, which is very, very hard, and I hope that they will come back on the pitch. And also we need in every line, we need better options, I can say like this.
We'll talk about those options shortly. How much have you watched what this team did last season? How much footage have you gone through before getting to this point?
Yeah, there is a lot of space to improve because team was not compact. It's a very big space between the lines, between the players. First, second ball in the midfield. We need power in that part of the pitch. Also, numbers in front of the players. We need assist. We need the goals. So a lot of work.
Of course, it's your first opportunity in English football. Of course, what excites you about the challenge, and what do you see the biggest challenges facing you?
This is, it's not easy to get the chance in English football. I think I'm the third from Croatia. When I saw it was Slaven Bilic and Juric here. So it's not easy, but also what I told, it's a big challenge. But on the end of the day, it's football. So I will adapt as soon as possible. I know it's a very, very tough league. It's a lot of games, just 45 rounds without cups. But also, this is the reason why we need to stay calm, that we have stability to go game by game and try to improve every day that we can be better.
Stability is a good word.
Yes.
A lot of talk about how many changes there have been at this club in the last couple of years, and certainly in the last 12 months. You're the fourth manager in just over 12 months. Did that factor into your decision making? Did you have to think long and hard about that before deciding to join?
No, this is part of this job. If you don't deliver the results, you know what will happen. So for me, this is very simple. If you have result, you're just fine.
Does it put you under pressure to succeed quickly and immediately?
No. I'm not under pressure. This is football. This is just sport. I know Mr. Chairman, maybe he will not agree, but like since first conversation with Mr. Chairman, we have had a similar vision, similar strategy, that ambition. So we will see.
What target has Acun set you for this season? What is the initial aim?
I can see around 10 places, top 10. But I know me. I believe in myself, and also with my staff, we delivered a lot of in the past, a lot of good results. So we believe in our work, and I hope we will be successful here.
Top 10 target sits well with you?
Yes, top 10. Yes, top 10, and then we will see.
Okay. What are your first priorities? Obviously, getting to know the players is an obvious one, but in terms of maybe some of those things that we don't see every day, what would be your first priorities when you go into a club as a head coach?
My first priority to work hard every day with intensity, with tactical things, technical things also, because the players are after 2 months in very good conditions. So this is good. Also, as soon as possible that we bring new players, what we need, and also our injury players when it's very important when they will be returned on the pitch.
I wanted to ask you about bringing new players in and that recruitment. For you, how high on that priority list is getting your recruitment done early, preferably before the season starts, if you can?
As soon as possible, but it's not so easy. We're working every day on this. We are very active on the market, but it's June, so okay. Tomorrow is 1st July, but we will see. Every day we have a conversation. We have some meetings, so we will try to improve on each position that we have better options.
Every manager is different. What about you as far as the size of squad? What size of squad ideally would you like to work with?
24 plus 3 goalkeepers. This is okay, but always we had 22 plus 3 or 4 goalkeepers plus some players from the academy. It's also important that you can show the way that they can get there in the first team.
I was going to say, is that a big part of your philosophy as well?
Yes. We in the past we developed a lot of young potential players who made a very big transfers. The latest one is Petar Such from Dinamo, 40 million to Inter.
As far as that recruitment, it's well known that it's done on a team basis, including 2 gentlemen sitting next to you, among others as well. Who will have the final say on those players, as far as you're concerned? will you get to have the final decision making?
I think yes. I think yes, but we are all together on the same line, because what I told on the beginning, we want good and very good and successful Hull.
Have you identified any players yourself personally yet that you'd like to sign?
Yeah, but this is secret. This is secret. I told to Jarred everything, so he knows, because we need speed, we need power in the midfield zone. So because it's very tough league.
Fans don't like secrets, though, Sergej. They like to know.
Yeah, okay, we will speak on the pitch, so they will see everything on the pitch.
Of course. Tell us a little bit about the coaching team that you brought with you.
Yes, my first assistant coach is tactical guy Marko Salatovic. I need to say that we are all together almost 8 years, so we know everything. And Marin Ivancic is a fitness coach. For me, he's the best fitness coach on Balkan, I can say like this. And Angelo Rogolic is a video analyst and also coach. So we are all together almost 8 years.
And you brought Dean Holden in as well.
Sorry, Dean Holden is, I spoke personally with Dean. I like him very much because he's a fighter. He's a championship experienced coach, and also he will be in charge for the defense.
Okay. And two coaches that are still here, Erbal Bosker, who's been here a year, Andy Dawson,
yes,
who has a rich history with this club.
Yes.
How important are those two as far as that knowledge?
His connection between first team and under 21 team, so it's very helpful for me.
Sergej, it's good to meet you. Thank you for your time. I know others will have questions. I've just got a few questions for the
Thank you very much.
Alongside you, Acun and Jarred. I'll get to you in a second. Acun, good to see you. How are you?
Fine, you?
Very well. Why is this the right appointment for you? Why is this the right appointment for Hull City?
Actually, I think that now 3 years and a half passed in my ownership of Hull City. And I remember the first day I came here. And of course, for me, everybody needs some adaptation for any place he goes in the business life. So for my side, I think after 3 years, almost 4 years, I came with my team, of course, some conclusions about our coaching problem, because I have to say that we don't find ourselves successful. At the end of the day, we are the one who's deciding. And if you ask me as a general, we were not bad, but we were not very successful. So it's not only the coaches' quality, because our coaches were all good. As you remember, they went to very good clubs after us, and they showed that how good coach they are. But to be successful in life, what I believe, very good member of the squad, our technical squad, Andrew said to me, Acun, you have to be in the same page with your coach, and the success will come when you can achieve that. And now, of course, I know Sergej, I think 1 month, 20 days, 1 month. We know each other very good, but I'm not the God. I cannot see the future. But I always go from my feelings, plus, of course, the team's decisions. And what we decided for this year, before Sergej's approach, is a solid success we want from a coach that he achieved in some places. So to risk the failure risk I'm talking about. So when you look at Sergej's career, you will see that everywhere he went, he was successful. And his success in Turkish league shocked all Turkish football world. And actually, I was shocked too when they scored against Fenerbahce, and we almost lost the championship. And the way he played, the team played, and when I talked to Jarred, Hagi, and Mustafa, everybody said, this is the game we want to see with our team. So after you see a success in Turkey, of course, we were really watching Kayserispor. I thank to their president too for allowing us for this deal. He supported us, and we saw a team playing our philosophy. For 3 years, I'm describing our fans what I want to see, and actually, it was the football I saw in Kayserispor that I want to see my team to play. And when you look at his career, you will see that Sergej has the talent to make all the teams play similar games before Kayserispor. Big success in Dinamo Zagreb. Before that, 2 more big success in 2 different teams and another country. So at the end of the day, now we are depending on a success story with a good character and with the good, I would say that match. So of course, Jarred is now is one of the most important person in whole city, and I gave him the responsibility to be the sporting director, and he's proving every day how good decision I made. So I feel like this is the experienced era of my ownership, and I feel like we have the best team at the moment in our side, and it is time to show to our fans.
It's interesting you say about this period in your ownership. We've sat here a few times now in this very same spot, and maybe the last 2 appointments we've discussed about how this is a pivotal appointment for you. Here we are again, 12 months, 6 months on. How important is it that you get this one right?
Actually, extremely important. And as you know, for 1 year, I had a bad time of my life because being the responsible of Fenerbahce as a vice president and actually put extreme weight over me. Actually, for last year, I can say that I couldn't give 100 of me, but this year I will give 200 of me to whole city because I'm fully focused on our success. I was always focused, but as you know, life puts pressure on you, and sometimes you don't have time or energy. So this year, I'm fully focused and full energy. And Sergej is the pilot of this team at the moment. And how important a pilot of the plane is, Sergej is that important for me now. And I'm the passenger.
How much do you accept that you got that wrong in terms of that last 12 months as making that decision to split your time between 2 clubs that demanded so much of your time?
Yeah, I cannot say wrong. I'm not sorry of anything I did because you have to get experience. In life, making mistakes is not the problem. Not getting lessons is the problem, I think, or sticking with the mistakes is the problem. Otherwise, all of us make mistakes. So for me, in my whole life, I made, of course, many mistakes. But why I'm successful in my own business, I can say that we made history in my business because we made mistakes but didn't insist. We just corrected. So in football, the same for me. I made no mistakes. And last year, it was a planning mistake maybe, yes, but I had to do because circumstances was like this. But this year, I got my lessons and I'm learning. And I think our fans will be happy this year because they will see completely Acun in the first year with more experience.
I asked Sergej about his targets. Let me ask you to hear it from you. Fans would want to hear it. In 10 months' time, when we're talking about, hopefully, success for this side, what is the primary target for this team?
No, we discussed with Sergej and I explained him. Our first target is top 10. I think top 10 is a good performance for this year. If we can get to top 10, that means that for the next year, we will be successful, and for the next year, we will improve. I know how many all of you want this consistency in the club to go further with the stairs up. But I can say that first of all, we have to feel our side that we are in the same track and same mind, then we want to go together. So hopefully everything go good, and we are in top 10. For me, it means that we will be in top 6 in the next year. We will be one of the favorites.
Does top 10 come with a clause? And I ask that because a year ago it was 7th place, but you didn't like the football.
Yeah.
Is it top 10, but you still want to see the right football as well? Or have you realised that maybe you'll have to be a bit more patient with it?
No. For me, it's not easy to explain everything everywhere, as you know. There are some things has to be secret. So I have to generalize some things. For example, when we are number 7 and we separated our ways with our coach Liam, which I love him, and we speak him. I spoke to him 2 days ago, and we have a perfect relation. It was the time Liam was getting experience. And of course, he will be better and better. I said to him the same thing, and I hope that he wins the European Cups. But at the end of the day, don't put like the only reason, we didn't play very good and we just separate the ways. It's not like simple like that. But it is one of the reasons that I want attacking football. I will always say that. I want attacking football, entertaining football. Of course, first results, then attacking football. Attacking means entertaining football for the fans. I don't want our fans to see 2 wins in 6 months. I don't home wins, you know. So I don't want. I feel so sorry when our fans go without a win to their homes, chanting for 2 hours for their teams. I don't want that. And it can happen. Yes, it can happen. But if it happens with boring football and not winning the games all together, so I start feeling less and less oxygen. So for me, why I bought this club? I bought this club to make a history, make a good, entertaining football, and make the fans happy. If our fans are happy with the results plus boring football, I can respect that. But for me, this is my passion, and I will go from that direction. I will not change my direction because I was not successful.
I'll save most of the recruitment questions for Jarred. I'll come to you in a second, Jarred. Just on one, Louie Barry, obviously, who the club had last year, and he had that unfortunate injury. Mm-hmm. Have you agreed a deal with Aston Villa to sign Louie Barry?
Yeah, we are almost somewhere, I can say that. But transfer, you never say transfers done before they are finished. We saw with our club too. So Louie Barry deal can only be done and finished in the benefit of this club. So I like Louie Barry. He likes us. We had a good conversation 3 days ago. I'm personally involved in this transfer because of my relation with, of course, Aston Villa owner and Monchi, Mr. Nassef. But at the end of the day, Aston Villa's and our benefits has to match somewhere to make both clubs happy. So the transfer shouldn't be like this. I'm gonna get this whatever is the result. No, you have to make your clubs everything benefit for the club. Of course, Aston Villa has to be happy so that they can give their player. I can say that we are somewhere, but I wouldn't say it's done until the last minute because I have experience in England. In Turkey, I don't have that experience, but even the medical check is dangerous. So from now on, we're gonna make medical checks in a secret places without any information because you think that a transfer is done, then you see the same boy wearing the different shirt 2 weeks later. So let's be patient. But Louie Barry is our one of the first targets, but Jarred is so much involved in everything. We are talking every day 6-7 times for this year. Last year 2 times, 2 times. This year 6-7 times. So Jarred is completely, I think, is the guy with Mustafa and of course Haji is our new member. I believe them 100%, and I want our fans to know I'm completely involved in everything. But decision making about recruitment and everything will come from our recruitment and approved by the coach. then I will just enter and try to finish or finance, of course. Also, we are playing chess in the spending limits in this league, as you know. This league, you have to be good in chess. You have to just calculate. 1 year, 3 year. Parachute money, they come with 75 million parachute money. We are counting 50,000, 60,000. Is it too much? No, if we use it this year, we cannot do it last year, next year. So many calculations. And I can say that championship improved my mathematics. Yes, I'm now better and better every year. Also improved, I think, my intelligence too. So very useful for me, and I love this country.
Just to clarify with Louie Barry, what's the gap at the moment? Have you agreed a fee?
It's not let's don't call it like a gap.
Or what's the hold up maybe then on it?
I liked one word coach said, and I couldn't find it for 3 years, and it's the best solution for your questions. Let's keep it secret. I loved it. Let's keep it secret. This is secret relations between them. Fantastic answer.
That's not as much fun though, of course. Just before I go to Jarred, obviously getting rid of managers, bringing a new manager in, recruitment.
By the way, who is the 4 managers in 1 year? Can you count them for us?
Just over a year. Liam, Tim.
Isn't it better you say over a year, for example? Your questions are always fantastic, 4 managers in 1 year, but it is not 4 managers. Because I know how street and corners you have in England. So let's don't count 3 like 4. It's 3 managers in 1 year.
That's still not a great look, to be fair. All of that, changing managers, recruitment, everything else comes at a cost. The club did post losses of over 60 million. How sustainable is that in the long term?
What is that 60 million?
In terms of the last accounts that were published, these 60 million losses.
Okay, again, there is a misunderstanding there. We have to just clarify. This 60 million was before we sold 2 players for almost 40 million. So again, it is like this. The accounts until August is 60 million, and it is like your question, 12 months. Again, 1 month later, it becomes 20 million because we sell 40 million players. So,
but then you signed other players off the back of that. After
agree.
And Jacob Lee, you had to
agree. But there are 2 things very simple. There's a spending limit in this league that you have to just obey. Apart from that, we don't owe any money to anybody. The club owns money to me, and I'm the owner. So I think, again, a communication problem is happening here. Many clubs have the similar numbers. If you check many clubs, you will see the same things. And I'm very surprised why it is on the table like the club is in debt. There is no problem like that. The club owner is Acun Ilicali. Club owns money to Acun Ilicali. So everything club owns is to me. Yes, I finance this club as all the owners. Maybe, Mike, you know better than me because I don't follow every other clubs. Is there something I'm missing here? I mean, do we have a problem in that case?
It's not as high as some clubs, but fans look at it and are concerned at the figure, and you say it's owed to you. So then what would happen when that money needs to be paid back at some point?
Paid back means me.
Yeah. At some point, that money needs to be paid back to you, doesn't it?
No. It is not like that.
You would write that figure up.
I mean, no. I mean, it depends. For example, what circumstances will happen that it's going to be paid to me? I couldn't understand. I mean, the club owns money to me. I'm the owner. If I want to sell a club, for example, I want to sell this club, I will ask for some money. And of course, I cannot ask all the money that the club owns to me because this time nobody will buy the club.
I think that's what people are trying to clarify. Yeah.
No, our fans, of course, some of them can misunderstand. This is so normal. But of course, as a general, I can say that we are using spending limits, and I'm spending from my pocket, yes. And don't forget, I'm spending from my pocket, but we have extremely good players in the squad, and getting one more and more. if you ask me, we have 60 million sellable players in the future. So the club only 60 million. We have maybe in future we will sell 40, 50 million players. So that's not something I'm too much actually involved and worried. The fans see some number and can be worried. This is of course such normal thing. All I can say for them, don't be under stress. We are fine.
Thanks for clarifying, Acun. Jarred, thanks for your patience. Good to see you. How are you?
Well, how about yourself?
Very well. How's the summer been so far? You've obviously brought a few. There's a lot more fans would hope still to come. How's it looking so far for you from a recruitment point of view?
I think we've hit the targets we've wanted to hit early on, which is get a few experienced players into the group, in the likes of Shemi Ajayi, Dylan Phillips. Obviously, we've had a bit of a rotating door in terms of goalkeepers. We want to get a bit more stable and steady with regards to that position. At the end of the day, it's still very early in the window, very early in the market. So we need to adapt our plans to how Sergej feels with the squad as it grows and develops, and give him the chance to evaluate the players in the group. Of course, there will be a subset of that group that have their own interests at heart and they want to leave, and that's a conversation for us to have if the numbers are right for us. At the moment, it's a very different summer from last summer, where before I joined, there was a preseason trip to Riva. There were a handful of senior pros under contract. Now we walk into a full dressing room as such. So, of course, we're trying to make additions, but they need to be the right ones. I've always said to the chairman and to Sergej as well, it's about getting the right players at the right time at the right price. All three have to hit. And that's not easy to do, especially this early in the window. But we want to give Sergej the tools as early as possible to get this team up and running.
This is a slightly difficult question, but I know you can answer it because I know how much work you've put in the last nearly 12 months. What lessons need to be learned from last summer?
Well, timing. I think timing is critical, both with coaching staff, with players. But again, it's the right ones. So you don't want to just go early because we think we have a void or a hole to fill. You need to make sure that you fill that with the right player, so you're not then looking at an exit strategy 12 months down the line. So timing is an important lesson, I think, for the club, for myself, for everyone involved, and making sure we, as I speak to the chairman, about making sure that the number one target, if it's within reach, we go and prioritize that. When you start falling to other targets in your mind, then you start second guessing yourself. And there's a reason why number one is number one. And we've made that very clear. Sergej's made that clear to myself. The chairman and I speak every day about this being a priority for us to make sure we get the right players in, obviously within financial means, of course.
Let me talk about some of those targets. Obviously, Acun's answered the question regarding Louie Barry. Ollie Mcburnie is one of the other ones. How close is that, and how confident are you of getting that one over the line?
I would probably say the party line of it's a secret. Obviously, a player that I know very well personally from my time at Sheffield United. Is that an area of the pitch that we're trying to strengthen? Yes. I don't really prefer speaking about players that aren't necessarily under contract at Hull City. So there's not much I can say other than we have a personal relationship. He's a good player. He's got promoted this division before, which is the ambition of this club long term. So I would understand why there'd be interest from our side.
I think we all hope it's a secret, doesn't become the new stock answer, but I appreciate that one.
Yeah.
What are the factors with Ollie in particular? What's from your perspective?
From my perspective, he has obviously some bits on the Las Palmas side of things with regards to his own contract, which I don't want to be disclosing out there. He's a player who would attract interest domestically, would attract interest abroad, of course, with his profile in terms of Premier League experience. For us, it's about, do we have that extra bit of quality to go and take us from being a top 10 team to maybe something that gets over the line? And that's really the ambition that the chairman set out, and it's up to us to deliver upon that. So Ollie would be in that category. That's all really I can say about his situation at Las Palmas. Obviously, he has to sort out his bits there, his parts there to finalize, and it's up to us if we can come to an agreement if that's what comes to pass.
How big a challenge is the other interest?
I would say anytime you go for a target of an Ollie Mcburnie, that type of status with Premier League history, Premier League experience, there's going to be other interest. So rarely do we find a player that there's no one in for. Even someone like the likes of Jarred Dublin, there's interest in him last off before the deal was essentially finalized. So rarely have the three of us seen a transfer where you were the only show in town. So I would say it's to be expected, especially for a player of Ollie Mcburnie's caliber.
It's understood Jonjo Shelvey's training with the side at the moment. What's the view, what's the plan with him as far as you and the club?
Again, we're looking to add experience into the group. We want Sergej to have a look at as many players as possible with regards to who does he see fitting his style of football for the championship next season. Jonjo's obviously CV speaks for itself, and whether or not that turns into something permanent, time will tell. But for the opportunity to bring someone in of his track record, caliber, passing quality to come in and train, that's something that we wouldn't turn down. The last time I had something similar was David McGoldrick at Sheffield United, and he turned out pretty well. So we'll see.
Is that purely a trial situation at the moment? Nothing discussed as far as anything?
At this moment, he's training, and we'll evaluate from there, both from his side and our side, because it's got to work for both parties.
Yeah. Lewis O'Brien's a name that's been mentioned over the summer. Suggestions that's unlikely to materialise now. Is that the case?
I think as, again, the right price being into consideration for a player who was bought by Nottingham Forest for almost double figures in terms of a fixed fee. So they want to recoup some of their money and balance their books in terms of the book value for Lewis O'Brien. Is that the type of player who we see could help us reach our end goal? Yes. Aside from that, he's still a Nottingham Forest player.
Appreciate that. Oscar Zambrano, what's the latest with that one?
Hopefully we'll have an update for you within a week's time, maybe even sooner than that. Oscar was someone who really bought into the club and the vision and the chairman's vision for our future. Obviously, there's been the situation with regards to his ban from football or his stepping back from football for 12 months' time. From our perspective, we see a player who really embedded within the group, really enjoyed living in the city, really enjoyed his teammates. If there's the right deal to be done to make his stint here permanent, then we would look at that if the numbers are right.
Well, you say the update within the next week. Does that mean a decision hasn't been officially made yet, or just the club will update in due course? I
would say there has been a decision from our side whether or not we can conclude the deal. As the chairman said, nothing's done until it's signed, until they have the scarf over the head. So we're not there yet, but we're confident that Oscar wants to continue here and that we want to continue with him.
What gives you that confidence?
Conversations with the player, conversations with his representatives, the reality that he's going to have 12 months out come November, which is a lot for any player to swallow. But again, I think he bought into this project at that moment. We bought into him and carried that risk as well. And now we see about what does November onward look like for us. And if we feel Oscar Zambrano for the right price can be a value add to this group, then it's something that we're actively evaluating and confident that we can secure.
Any imminent outgoings?
Imminent outgoings, I would say you'll be notified when it's official. Until then, it's a balancing act between what we see as the right figures to let players go, what we see as the right characters and qualities and traits we want in the squad. So I think for us, imminently, I would say on a permanent transfer, nothing imminent as such, but it could change like this. So at the moment, no bids in. If that changes, then of course the conversation will change.
Yeah. Where's Ryan Giles' future?
At the minute, he has a bit of rolled his ankle a couple of weeks ago in terms of the end of his holiday. He needs to get back fully fit. He didn't train today. And obviously, Sergej will have the opportunity to evaluate him for his style. And again, Ryan Giles is a player who's, had a Premier League move previously. He's done fantastic in the division. I think he's, again, for me, one of the best left-footed crossers that the championship's seen, probably in the past 2-3 years. So tons of attributes that we hope Sergej can harness and use to deliver his football. And if not, then that's another conversation. But at the minute, he's with us, trying to get back fully fit.
Just one final one I'll ask you specifically. Marvin Malan, there was some suggestion over the weekend that there was a move to Kaiserslautern lined up.
Yep.
He's been seen at training today. What's the situation with Marvin?
Training today. Obviously, he was out on loan second half of the season at Paderborn. Again, it's one where we'll continue training with Sergej. And Sergej and obviously Marvin will have their own chats with regards to what this next year looks like for him. He's in the last year of his contract. So there'll be a balancing act between what we see as benefiting the club, protecting the club in terms of our investments, and obviously what's best for the player. I think one thing that's been clear with the chairman here is there's a human element at play here. He's got a young family, and that's something we have to consider because these are humans. They're not just robotic footballers. So it needs to work for him, but it needs to work for us as well because we've invested into the player. So at the minute, he's in first team training, and it'll remain the case until it changes.
Have you had a formal offer to consider though for him?
No.
Gentlemen, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sergej, Barry from the Hull Daily Mail, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How difficult was the decision to come to Hull City given the success you'd had at Kayserispor?
It's not difficult because it's a privilege to be here for me. This is next step for me. It's because I had previously in my career always step forward. ambitious, always to do something. I always leave some mark in the previous club. So it's, like I told, it's a very big challenge for me.
And how big of an attraction was coming to managing England?
It's attractive because it's a very difficult league. Championship, I think it's a third on the board by the everything. It's very difficult, and also a lot of good players, a lot of good managers, young managers. So, but also I'm young, like a manager, but I have a lot of experience.
And we all know how difficult this league is, how relentless it is. Saturday, Tuesday, pretty much for 9 months. Are you prepared for that kind of relentless nature?
I'm prepared because I have experience in Dinamo Zagreb. We played 9 months every 3 days. Europe Championship Cup. So we used to it, and you need 60, 70 like first 11 players that you can rotate every 3 days. And for me, this is not a problem, and also for my players, because everyone will get the chance to play, and when you step on the pitch, you must prove.
You trained today, your first look at the players on the grass. How much did you enjoy that first and foremost?
Yeah, I enjoy it. 5-6 under 21 players. They have potential also, and our players, their skeleton is there. So we will try to bring a few players that we can have more energy, more speed, more power in our team.
And what were they like? Because for them, we forget, but it's like a first day of school almost again, isn't it?
Yes.
If they don't know you, they're coming back to a new manager, having finished the season with another manager.
Yes, but I don't know. You need to ask them. I don't know how it feels, because mine is very good, and of course, every day it will be better and better.
What reception did you get from them? What were they like from your point of view?
One player told me, I will not mention the name, he was very satisfied with the session, because it's ball all the time. This is good.
And from your point of view, how is your pre-season going to look? Because years ago, players might not see football for a few weeks. It was all about running, all about fitness, but obviously you've just said that there was a lot of ball work already. How is it going to look?
Ball, running, strength, everything, tactic. Everything will be inside. I know that English players like to train in the morning at 11, because I collect so many infos, and also what I told on the beginning, we need to adapt to the players, and we will adapt because I respect culture and the mentality of this country. This is very, very important.
You talked to Mike a lot about transfers and the need to bring players in. That much is obvious, but what have you made of the squad that you're inheriting, that you're walking into?
I like to bring players always for the first 11, not for the rotation. This is main thing. Of course, always we will find the players. This is not problem, but always it's by financial terms. This is because it's not just a player, it's agents, mom, dad, I don't know who. And it's very, very difficult, but we have some targets. And I would like to have players who can make a difference on the pitch. This is main point.
And the club spent a lot of money 12 months ago on various, some players obviously, like you touched on, Mcburnie couldn't play with their ACLs, but other players were signed.
Matazo also.
Yeah, Matazo. Other players were signed for quite a lot of money, perhaps have not delivered as many would expect. How important is it for you to try and get the best out of the players that are already in the building?
Yes, this is my main management. This is also secret. This is my recipes. I'm good in that, in man management. Also, you need to balance your team always, because it's not about first 11. Also, they are all important because it's a lot of games, and I need every player.
And that's the other thing, isn't it?
Yes.
You want a bigger squad, but how do you keep them all happy? Perhaps the players that aren't playing.
They will all play. I guarantee they will all play. Because in previous club, they all play.
One of the key reasons the team didn't get promoted 2 years ago was probably a lack of goals at key times. The team finished the season just gone as the lowest scorers. How do you go about turning that dial from a team that couldn't score to one that can?
Yes, 44 goals in 46 rounds, which is very, very strange. This is average 0.935. I don't know. And although what is for me very strange, it's just 5 home wins, 7 away. which is it's easy to play for them away games, and we need home goals. We need attacking style, and during the training we will do all this through sessions. So, and also we need numbers in offensive positions. This is also our target, to bring those players.
When you talk about your man management, just explain what that looks like. Are you getting let's say a Mason Burstow or a Carl Joseph who struggled for goals last season? How are you going to get Do you get them in for meetings? Do you put your arm around the shoulder? Do you shout at them?
Yes, no shouting, no. But it depends on the player. Some players likes to shout on them, but it's mostly friendly talk, and you are like a father to them. So they need to follow you. I need to be honest. I need to be consistent, because when I standing in front of team and I speaking about something, no matter, I will always protect the team, no matter how is a player how is his name. So it's always friendly approach. But if you use that, I can be very dangerous for them.
I know it's early on, but what stage is Liam Miller at in his recovery, and Mo Balumi and also Elliot Matazo, obviously the three we've talked about already? Where are they at?
Yes, Miller is 7.5 months from the surgery, and he is now running. He joined the team during the warm-ups and some passing, and after 4 weeks he will have a medical check in London. And then after 4 weeks without contact, he will be like Joker in the training session. Yes, we need to be very careful, because I have in previous club in Dinamo I had 3 ACLs, so it's better day later than earlier. So it's better. So I think Mbelumi and Miller after national break this September.
And Matazo?
Matazo is 15 weeks from operation, so he's so far away. So I think November, Jarred.
November, December time.
Yes.
Depending on how they recover.
Depends from recovery. It's always individual.
Sure. There were a lot of injuries last season, obviously 3 ACLs. There were other players that had lengthy injury spells. Is that something that you're looking at to try and find out why, or is it just one of those cruel seasons?
You cannot explain that. I cannot explain that. Doctors cannot explain that, because just one is with contact, or other two without contact. You're just running and you fall down. I cannot. But I think this is the worst injury right now in modern football. Yes.
What conversations have you had with Acun in terms of budgets? Acun talked a lot to Mike about budgets and financial fair play and the restrictions within the championship. What do you know what you've got to spend, or are you just talking about areas and names?
You didn't spoke about budget.
No. Because budget is not the coach's area for us. Of course, he knows general that we don't have 40 million spending limit, but as a general, we will spend all our limits, and I can say that again, it's a chess, but if everything goes good at the moment, our targets are inside the budget, and we will deliver him the players he would like to see.
And you touched on a few weeks ago that you'd like you thought that 7 or 8 players would be about the right number. Obviously, players can leave, so that number has to change. Is that where you think this squad is at? What that kind of number of players that you think need to bring in?
Yes, around 6, 7, 8, around that. But depends on the market.
If 2 more goals, for example.
Yes.
Yeah. You talked about pace and power. That's something that you've mentioned quite a lot. We didn't really see too often in the championship last season, but that's energy and power, intensity are 3 key things at this level, aren't they?
Yes, this is the main thing, because it's about the speed, it's about power especially in the midfield zone, because of the first and second ball. For me, that was main reason maybe in midfield, because this is heart of the one team. So if you cannot win challenges in the middle, first or second ball, how you will play? You cannot play just with the ball. You average in the game how many minutes you have the ball. It's around maybe 2 minutes. So we need their I don't know, better players or stronger players.
You talked about the things that you could improve from last season. What have you picked up on that impressed you, that you thought that was really good, maybe we can improve it a little bit, but I really like that, or that they did that was good?
They are all injuries. Yes. But defense line, okay, we can fix that during the trainings. Defense line, it's okay. When you need to jump out, when you need to drop, when you switch the side. And also, struggling with the strikers, because just 6 goals from our ex-striker. And wingers. This is, but because of the injuries.
Yes. What did you like about the team?
I know. I like, but maybe November was very good for this team. They play then good, but mostly struggling during the season because of injuries. Because their players are not on the right place. They played midfield players, some strikers play wingers. So maybe you can change the system, I don't know. But this is past. For me, this is new season, new challenges. We will try to improve everything.
Just finally for you, Sergej, in terms of your personal life and your setup here, what are you going to be doing? Have you got people around you here that can help you settle in? Because it's, you're coming from a different country and a completely new environment. That's the personal side of it's really important as well, to make sure you're happy and content so you can be effective here.
But we are very normal people. So me and my staff, we will be on the facilities all day, for sure. Hard working all day. Some watching, analyzing everything. Analyze every training session. You need to analyze so many information. My staff, they know already. They need just to put me in my ear some informations. I will make filter, and then I will, on the end of the day, I will make decisions. But always, it's calm life. Calm life. This city is perfect for me. Like Kayseri, nothing, just work. Perfect.
Acun, how impressed have you been with what you've seen from Sergej so far?
No, I see what I expect. He's an experienced coach. I think he always shows that he's the teacher, and I think the coaches has to show their teaching abilities. He has, I think, the experience, the age to teach the boys and get the respect. So I think everything is going so good at the moment. But of course, too early at the moment. I hope everything goes good for him too. But expectation is top, feeling is top. So zero problem at the moment.
You touched on the financials already. How much room for manoeuvre have you got within financial fair play to actually go in? We've seen a couple of free transfer arrivals already. Obviously, if Mcburnie comes, he would be a free in terms of transfer fee.
Yeah.
Have you got room to go and spend money?
We have some room, but not big room. So maybe we will send some players that they want to go. So the names are secret, of course.
Is that your new line as well?
No, I loved it. Sergej is first. He's a teacher, He taught me this answer.
Thank you.
And I really was not using it. Why I was not using it, I don't know.
Not helpful.
Right now it's secret.
No. Of course, we are trying to give you information as much as we can. Yeah. But as you can understand, there are some things. For example, there is a deal going on. How can I say the deal and just burn it? Or there is a player that we are interested. If somebody knows, then some more people can be interested. So in football, I'm coming from your side, When I started my career, I was in this side of football. So I know what you feel like every second. But unfortunately, from our side, this time I'm in both sides, there has to be some things to be kept secret for the sake of this club. So in order to give information, we cannot make our life more difficult. But we will try to help you as much as we can. So in this case, I can say that in the financial way, there are some players will go. We spent good money last year, by the way. As you can imagine, all of you know that we spent from Camara to our striker, midfielders. So if you count one by one, Hughes, we spend good money, but we have still some room. So in order to enlarge this room, we need some, of course, buying. But this year, of course, again, I decided to keep the prices of the tickets as low as possible because I want all the fans to come to the stadium. We are promoting it. But for the next year, I have a plan to go a little higher in some tickets. I'm not talking about all the tickets. So I think I said to Jarred the same thing. We have to make a little more separation between the tickets, that the fans who can afford these tickets has to pay more so that we can have more limits. And I want everybody to understand something. As an owner, I'm spending every pound that can be spent from my pocket. But if you ask me how there is more limit can be, only income comes more, then more limit. So in this case, I will not ask all the fans. I will support our children. I will support them in some away games again. This is what makes me happy in life, to be one family. And as the father of this family, I will support everything. But in this limits occasion, if in order to have more limits, we have to have more incomes. And if other teams get double of our income in the stadium, how can we catch them? Already we have the parachute guys around. Then how we will catch the other teams? So not to break the heart of our fans, we will go for some areas to be more expensive next year, not this year, so that we can have more room. Otherwise, we will not have the room to spend money.
Jarred, you touched on this earlier on about the timing. Obviously, we saw last season 14 players, I think it was, arrived after the final pre-season friendly of the summer, which made it difficult for the previous manager, Tim Bolter, admittedly. You want to get the right players, of course, but you haven't got any. You've got goal problems, we know, lack of strikers. João Pedro's gone as well, Gauhart's gone. How crucial is it that you get those attacking players in quickly?
Top priority. So I think everyone knows, you obviously mentioned where we finished in the goal tally last season. Sergej's identified that he wants to bring goals into the team. And that's probably why you're seeing some of the links or rumors, true or false or alleged, online with the intent of we need to add goals into this football team. So it could not be a higher priority than where we have it right now. Again, we're not going to rush to take the wrong one. We want to make sure we get the right one. But it is the number one item that gets ticked every day. Are we doing everything we can to address that issue?
And kind of coming on from that, it's a question to, I guess, all of you really. How difficult has the sell been for Hull City, given that the team, stayed up on goal difference? There's bigger clubs in the league that can perhaps pay more money. That you've got Sheffield United as an example that have still got parachute money that have not gone up. How difficult is it to attract players to Hull City, given the league position last summer?
Actually, I want to answer that because I'm personally involved in most of the deals. So Jarred is working 24 hours, of course, but I want our fans. Yeah, I call him
allegedly.
What time I call him at night, for example?
12:30.
For example,
or 1 a.m. 1:30.
You've gone to sleep as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, because football is like this. It's like poison. If you get it in your body, you cannot run away from. I'm sure that it's a joy for him, my calls. But the very important thing at the moment is for this club's future, we have to have. Solid things, solid players, so that not loans only. Okay, but we have the advantage from the player side that we are always good with our players. We are always making their future better. Many talents. We just, I think, exported 6-7 players to Premier League. So this club, I want our fans to know that is a beautiful club, and it is known by many players. It is not that, when they say Hull City, why should I go Hull City? No. At the moment, the feeling of our club is very good in England, very, very good out of England. So in England, for example, our boys also help us in recruitment. Crooks is working for us, helping us. Before Seri brought Carvalho, you remember, just made the telephone call. So we are really one family with our players that are always helping us. And whoever asks to our players, the other players I'm talking about, who wants to come, they're satisfied. So we are not like we were in the bottom line. Everybody knows that we had 6 big injuries. And now 6 of them is gone, and they are coming from Bellumi to Matazo. So we are not in somewhere like danger. Of course, sometimes we go over some players that many clubs is not easy for them to get. In these times, sometimes Jarred is using me. Sometimes Jarred is using our own player. Sometimes Jarred is using the coach because he has some players from past that we want to bring. So I can say that we are working completely as a team. But please, I want our fans to know something. We have zero problem about the players wanting to come Hull City. We want some players, and thank God that they are about to come. But of course, the names are secret.
Still secret. Jarred, what influence does the owner have when you're talking to players? Perhaps that he wants to meet them, speak to them. We saw it before with the likes of Jane and Philogene, Fabio Carvalho, etc., etc. Not every club has that luxury, if you want to call it that. How does that improve your task? And equally, how much does that present a challenge as well when you've got Acun kind of putting in and wanting to be there and talk to players as well?
Yeah, I would say it's an ace up the sleeve. A great example would be Elliot Matazo in the January transfer window. So obviously we presented with the okay from Monaco to say this is the project, this is what we believe that will be our next chapter with Elliot as part of the midfield. Of course, other interests, and he wants to know, really, is it just this guy, Jarred, who has the sporting director jacket on, is he just saying it, or is it true? So having the owner be able to come in and say, look, this is where I've been for the past 3.5 years, not just what I've seen in, at that point, 6 months, is a huge pull. I would say, we were speaking about it earlier today, that although I believe we had the best pitch for Elliot and the best project for him at that stage of his career, the chairman jumping on the call and having the one-to-one with him, I wasn't even part of the last conversation, I think was partly, if not most likely, what sealed the deal. So it's an ace up the sleeve in my side of things. But of course, you said then there's the balance of the constant updates. But we're a collective approach. This is the other thing. So I've worked with owners who you speak to once a year. I've worked with owners who you speak to once a week, and obviously I work with an owner now who we speak 6, 7, 8, 10 times a day. At the moment, I only see the benefit of it in the sense of we're able to attract some players who maybe were on the fence of really believing in the project. It's different coming from the person who's funding it.
To give you another story, I was talking to a player, and of course everything was going good, but he said to me, what about the coach? I mean, does he want him? I said, yes, he wants you. And he said, can I get his opinion too? Can I talk to him? I said, of course you can talk to him. And I said, Sergej, can you come? Then Sergej came and he was near me, We start talking together to the player. And of course, it was again a good feeling for the player. And the player said, I made my mind in the conversation. That made us very happy. Because one side is the coach, giving him the full confidence. And of course, why I'm here to give as an owner to guarantee. As you know, I said to you before, I will never break my player's heart because of my benefits. I will always do the same thing. Any player wants a good move for his career, I will not push for 500,000, 300,000, 1 million just to make more money, to just give stress to him or ruin his career. I will always go from my line. My line is supporting the players when it is good for their side to move somewhere, supporting them. I told you before in 3 years many times. I will always make my players happy. And for me, it is their life from their side. And from our side, he's a player, good player. So his life is more important than our benefits. So I always say this to any player that we want to get to our family. And of course, if they want to stay, they will stay. But if anything comes, for example, Arsenal comes to Dubai, for example, or Crystal Palace comes to Dubai, I mean, I will not put my benefits 1 more year you stay. No. Or I want this much money, that is because you are wanted so much. No. Reasonable money, immediate, and not more than 2 days, we finish.
I don't think anybody's watching, so you could probably share who that player was. There's no secrets here.
I think everyone's watching.
Just a couple of quick final ones. Dean Holden, Sergej, what will be his actual role? Assistant manager, coach? What's his
assistant coach? Yes, in charge for defense.
And Marco
is offensive play.
So is he assistant as well?
Yes. It's assistant Marco.
Okay, cool.
He's
just finally, in terms of the academy, obviously you're still at separate sites. I know there's been a lot of talk about bringing the academy back here. First part of that question is where are we at with trying to get the academy back onto site?
Thursday we have the meeting, and Jarred, can we give you more information?
Yeah, I think we're still in the pre-planning phase, so we've gone back with a plan that intervenes less with the existing setup. So we're obviously optimistic that that's something that would get approved by the council. They could come back with other objections with what needs to be fit for purpose for them. At the moment, the ideal plan is to bring the academy back to the stadium. We all know that, but we're not at a position to necessarily rubber stamp that this is going to be happening on this date. So we're still back and forth, but we have a new proposal, which is we're hoping to hear back in hopefully a month's time.
And in terms of the finance of that, what does that look like in terms of cost, and where's that going to be funded?
Well, cost obviously would come from us. It's not a small investment to get the academy here by any stretch of the imagination. So we're talking multi-millions of pounds. And that's, of course, something that we need to evaluate where we see the long-term benefit of that. And obviously keeping our Category 2 status, which is important. But we obviously are still happy tenants at Bishop Burton at this moment in time. So we still will evaluate when is the right time to make that move and when obviously the finances align for where we're at to bring the academy here.
And does that tie in with the lease of the MKM Stadium as well?
Again, if you take a business plan to anybody and say, right, you're going to invest multi-millions into an academy set up at a stadium, most would advise to extend the lease. So there's that consideration as well. So it's not, it may seem like a small part in the large scheme of things. The academy is a big part of what we do, but it has a lot of downstream effects that we have to take into consideration before we say, this is happening, this is the day it'll be open.
And in terms of development of Cottingham as well, what are the latest plans? Are there any plans to redevelop that and make it kind of more suitable for 2025?
Yeah, I would say next time you're there, you'll probably see some of the updates. We're steadily, I would say, giving it a lick of paint, but also just a bit of a different feel. The biggest thing for us is we want the players to feel something different when they walk in on the first day, which they have done. Works will continue to improve it. We've obviously put up some additional offices for some of our staff to bring them from the stadium to the training ground. So I'm really pleased, to be fair to Joe, Sam, and the guys here. They've done a fantastic job to turn something around very quickly to give the players a feel that's different to last season.
And for you, Sergej, in terms of the academy, obviously young players have been a big part of your future, your career so far. How do they fit into the future at Hull City? Obviously, working with the academy down at Bishop Burton.
They will always be in our training. I don't know now. Depends on the position. So if we are missing some players or some position, so we will always invite them. Always to rotate them to we have a clear picture that they can express everything on the field.
Good luck at Hull City.
Thank you very much.
Any further questions?
Sergej, Joe Collins, Humberwave Radio. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You've outlined to Baz and Mike there what each of your other coaches will be doing on the training pitch day to day. What will Andy Dawson be doing, and how does he fit into that picture?
He's helping us, mostly me, with the names because I cannot remember every names, and the surname it's better for me. But he is connecting from academy to our first team. This is his role.
Yeah.
Till now, yes.
Actually, Andy is very good in young talents, and he's been with us since almost every day I bought the club. So we want to get more of Andy, and I think his ability to find talents and his presence and his coaching quality in the first team can be the best way for us to adapt young talents to our team, which I think we are missing last 3 years. If you ask me what is missing at the moment, we should bring more talents to the team, to the coach, so somebody has full responsible of this operation just to train these boys, bring the team, talk with the coach. So I think he will be very helpful to us this year.
And just for clarity on that, his title will be changing to head of player development to just give him that focus. So just I know you asked about titles and roles, but that will be his sole focus this season.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And I wish a good season altogether with good interviews after winning games because no, I mean I like to give interviews. I like to watch our coach interviews after winning.